Everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome to No DQ&A Live here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel youtube.com/AaronRift Today I will be answering your questions via Skype, via Super Chat, and via Twitter.com/AaronRift. We are coming off WrestleMania 35. We also have the Superstar Shakeup this coming week. Plenty of news to discuss, lots of hot topics out there. Of course, stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors. Before I open Skype to take your calls, let me start off with a Twitter question. Let's get right going here with the big news story that's ongoing right now. What is up with Sasha Banks? Is she going to quit WWE? Is she fed up? Will she be heading to AEW? Yeah, Hamp Connell with a $2 super chat says, let's start with your thoughts on Sasha Banks. Thank you for that, Hamp. And also, I want to read off this question from Infamous Chris saying, hey Aaron, do you anticipate that Sasha is going to quit anytime soon, according to a lot of reports? Hashtag NoDQ question of the day. I would not be surprised to see Sasha Banks leave WWE. We saw what happened at WrestleMania. Sasha and Bayley lost the tag team titles right after winning them back at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I even said going in, it would be too soon for them to lose the titles. Let them establish the titles as something credible, give them a lengthy run since they are the first champions. To me, having the Iconics win at WrestleMania just made no sense when you're trying to establish the titles as credible. So I don't blame Sasha for being frustrated if she is in fact upset about that happening. Yes, wrestling is a work, the titles are a work, but at the same time, Sasha and Bayley are really putting in that effort and time to make those titles mean something and have that credibility. We saw what happened last year. WWE really botched that Sasha and Bayley storyline where they broke up. There was some real potential with that storyline, but then of course the Dr. Shelby segment happened and then they made up and became a tag team, whatever. Kaiser Viking says, greetings from Copenhagen. How's it going? Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we get some different people tuning in for this video that usually are not able to make it for the Monday and Tuesday live streams. By the way, cheap plug for Monday and Tuesday, I will be changing things up next week. Next week, I will be doing live reactions. I will be streaming as Raw and SmackDown are on the air. So Raw, I will be doing a 3-hour stream, and SmackDown, I will be doing a 2-hour stream during those shows. I will be giving my thoughts on the Superstar Shakeup picks and how that all goes down. Now, I will open up Skype, and if you guys would like to further discuss Sasha Banks, feel free to call in. The thing is, if she does quit, WWE is going to have that no compete clause and she won't be able to be at Double or Nothing. I feel like WWE is going to do everything possible to keep her around just because they don't want AEW having any momentum. Let's be real here. WWE wants to keep these people under contract, as many of them as possible. So perhaps I'll go back to Sasha and talk more about her throughout this video. But I want to move on to another question here from Caleb Jacobs. Caleb has really been excited about me answering his questions, so let's do this. This is regarding John Oliver. Do you think John Oliver was in the right on saying what he said on his show? Because it showed his passion for the wrestling business. To me, the only thing he did not mention was Chris Benoit. Well, I think it's a very valid point about wrestlers having better health coverage, being treated as employees. Ideally, that's the way it should be. where wrestlers have the ability to get medical help, and not just during their career, but after their career. That's the real important thing, that the wrestlers, after their physical careers in wrestling are over, they are healthy and they are able to live productive lives. We've seen a lot of wrestlers, if they don't drop dead at a young age, we see them struggling to make ends meet when they're in their 50s and 60s, and it's really sad. But at the same time, on the other side of this, the wrestlers are not getting in this position where they have a gun pointed at their head telling them they have to sign a contract where they're an independent contractor. Now, of course, you could argue, well, WWE takes advantage of people that don't know any better, and that's the thing. When you sign a contract, you really have to be careful about what you're signing, and you have to read the fine print, because these companies will make it very complicated, and you really need to think about long-term what you want to do. Sometimes wrestlers are just like, I want to work for WWE, and they will just sign whatever document is thrown at them without thinking about the long-term consequences. But at the same time, WWE is a company that is making so much money now, you would think that they would be able to help out their wrestlers more. So it is a very touchy subject, and I can see both sides of the equation. TK with a $2 super chat donation says, greetings from Rhode Island to the NoDQ.com and its universe. Well, thank you very much for that, TK. I do appreciate it. No comment from TK, though. TK, feel free to leave a comment if you like. I am opening up Skype now if anybody would like to call in. Kayfabe Candy Ass says that whole piece he did was very dates. Quotes from the effing 90s and Piper in 2003. EC. All right, we got Chris Mace calling in. That was quick. And Kayfabe Candy Ass said dated. He had to correct himself. Chris, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How's it going, man?
Hey, it's going good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for calling in. You were the first caller tonight, and you were very quick. You literally called right when I opened up the app. So what's on your mind?
Oh, let's see here. Well, what's on my mind is I'm just asking you as a curiosity in your opinion. So I know you're not really big into the 205 Live matters or 205 show in general, because I know you really don't watch it too much. But my question for you on that matter is, would it help it more if it was on more of national TV, for example? I know me and Noah discussed this on 205 Live Matters this last Wednesday.
Well, I think one problem
would it help more if it was on national TV, like SmackDown?
Yeah, definitely. Like I think
SmackDown's going to be off of USA.
I think one of the problems. I think one of the problems was that it was taken off Raw when the 205 Live segments aired on Monday Night Raw. At least there was some importance when it came to the cruiserweights, and when you're watching it, you're invested in it whether you really care about it or not, because it's just part of Monday Night Raw and you have more eyeballs watching it. So yeah, I think that was definitely a big negative when 205 Live matches were no longer on Raw or SmackDown for that matter. I definitely think that they should be featured on Raw and SmackDown if you want people to care about the brand. So yeah, I definitely think that was a mistake.
Right, that's what I was thinking too. But I was thinking maybe talking about, since SmackDown's going to be moving from USA to Fox, so they could go ahead and maybe they're going to have that 2-hour time slot. They could put 205 Live for an hour from 7 to 8, and they could actually move NXT and put NXT from 8 to 9. That would make up the 2 hours they lose on wrestling on Tuesday nights on the USA Network. What were your thoughts on that?
I mean, they could do that, but unless it's like actually part of SmackDown or Raw, I don't think you're going to get a lot of people watching it. Like I said, I think people will be watching it by default because it's on the show, and maybe if it's compelling enough, it'll lead people to watch the regular shows. I mean, they should keep doing their shows, but I think the key is getting as many eyeballs watching it as possible, and that would be having it on Raw and perhaps have a cruiserweight match on SmackDown. The problem is that SmackDown's 2 hours. Now, if Raw stays 3 hours and SmackDown goes to 3 hours, you could argue putting it on SmackDown. But I think it would be better if it was on Raw. I liked when it was on Raw just because it was something different. You know, it was a little bit of a break from the normal stuff. I thought it was a bit over the top, like changing the ring ropes and whatnot, but I still think having a cruiserweight segment on Raw was good. And even having the cruiserweights interact with the other members of the roster instead of having it as its own universe. I think it was good when they were implementing the cruiserweight stars with the other stars as well.
Right, I agree with that too. Like I said, I didn't like when they changed the ring ropes. They could have left the Raw.
Uh-oh, we're losing Chris. I'm not sure if he's still on the line here. CJ just left a $1 super chat. Thank you for that, CJ. He left no comment. Chris, are you still there? Okay, I think we lost Chris Mace. Chris, thank you for tuning in. And Chris has actually been part of Stefan's NXT videos. So make sure you guys check out Stefan's video. And I think he was on 205 Live Matters with Noah. I'm not sure exactly because I know he's been rotating in a bunch of different videos. Yeah, I think we lost him. So hopefully we can get him back on. If not, we will get somebody else on. Let me see what's going on here. Let me try to fix this up. Okay. So thank you for calling in, Chris Mace. I do appreciate it. While we wait for another caller, let me get this next question from Jamie Clark. Regarding the long-standing debate about WWE having an off-season, and I guess this plays into the John Oliver question as well, do you think the month after WrestleMania would be an option considering the post-WrestleMania TVs are hot and would keep the fans invested? Well, I'm not really understanding that question that much because if TV is hot after WrestleMania, why would you want to go into an off-season? I think if you were going to do an off-season, you would do it when the product is at its coldest, and that's arguably in the fall. Once you have football competition in November, December, around Christmas time. I would say ideally, if you were going to have an off-season, which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. Highly unlikely in all likelihood, as kayfabe Candy Ass puts it, never going to happen. I would do it from maybe like the end of November, Thanksgiving, through the beginning of January. Give them like a 2-month break for Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays and just take a break at that point and then come back. If you were going to have any kind of break whatsoever, that's when I would do it. DJ Whitey with a $5 super chat says, feel like Kofi Kingston's title run so far is lackluster. Biggie, okay, hold on. Calvin Bowman is calling. Hold on, I missed that call from Calvin. Calvin, try to call in again. I apologize about that. DJ Whitey with the $5 super chat says, feels like Kofi's title run so far is lackluster. Biggie is carrying him, I think. What do you say, Aaron? Sorry for interrupting, and thanks for your hard work lately. Well, thank you for the question, DJ Whitey. It's way too soon to tell. Kofi's literally been champion for less than a week. So, yeah, I don't think you can judge Kofi's title run when it barely has done anything. It's just getting started. We still have a way to go with that. Big E carrying him. I mean, you could argue that Big E and Xavier have definitely been carrying the whole storyline with them having to win the tag team gauntlet for Kofi. I mean, yeah, that was a bit lame in my opinion, but you know, I did express that. As far as the title run goes, we got to see how it plays out. Like, if WWE keeps Kofi strong, then it should be a good title reign. But if they start booking him like Rey Mysterio in 2006, where he starts losing every match as champion, then yeah, you can say it's going to be a lackluster run. But yeah, I would say right now it's way too early. Jason Black with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Jason. Hey, Aaron from Northern Ireland. It's 1 a.m. It's hardly a surprise talent wants to quit when WWE brings back Batista for barely a month of build-off and a one-off. Okay, I don't recognize this name, so if it's a troll, then I'm going to very quickly hang up. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, who is this?
This is Boston Punk.
Oh, Boston Punk, how's it going, my friend?
Oh, another beautiful day here in the Northeast.
How are you doing? Before I get to your question, just hang on there for a second because I wanted to finish Jason Black's comment here.
Sure.
He says it's hardly a surprise the talent want to quit when WWE brings back Batista for barely a month of build and a one-off. So I guess I'll ask you this question. I'll put you in the hot seat here instead of me answering the question. I mean, what do you think about Batista coming in and taking that spot away from other talents? Do you think other talents would be justified in being upset, or do you think that they should just say, hey, you know what? Batista's bringing more eyeballs to the product, and that's good for everybody. What's your take on that?
I could actually go either way on that. I could see on one hand, people getting a little salty about it. It is a part-timer coming in, getting the big spot, getting the big payday. But on the other hand, Batista's one of the guys that put in the work. He's established in the business, so it's not like it's Colin Jost or Michael Che coming in and stealing the spot. It's somebody who came in, and he obviously planned this as his retirement. So I don't see an issue with it. I hate seeing Triple H go over people because it just happens more often than not. But Batista, I don't have as much of a problem with that one.
All right, fair enough. I do agree with that. I think you made some very valid points there. So what's on your mind in regards to the current landscape of WWE, or did you have another comment or question?
Well, I'm just going to talk about my hometown homegirl here, Sasha Banks.
All right.
It hits close to home here because I'm always rooting for her. But, with the creative decision, as far as the Iconics going over, I can see the frustration there. And I can't say I blame her. And, there's a long history with people going to greener pastures, having creative freedom elsewhere, having a fulfilling career, and then maybe coming back down the line. I could actually see that happening with Sasha Banks there because she's got the talent, and if she's given freedom, she can go on the mic, she can go in the ring, and she could be a big star elsewhere, maybe AEW.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Like I said earlier, if she does go to AEW, I don't see that happening right away. I'm not even sure if WWE would let her go.
No. It'll be next year, if anything, if it comes to that.
Yeah, like, if you had to make a prediction right now, do you think she's going to stay in WWE, or do you think she's going to end up leaving within the next year?
I think they're going to pull a revival on her. They're going to give her something to make her happy, and then, get her to commit to sticking around. And then once they have her under their thumb, they'll yank the carpet out from under her again. That's kind of what Vince does. And I hate to say it, but that's what I see happening.
Wait till she signs a new contract and then screw her over.
Yeah, get her locked in, and they got her by the proverbial balls. She's a female.
The lady balls.
And then keep her happy for a little bit, and then once they got her, they kind of give her the shaft again, and we've seen that time and time again. So it would not surprise me if it happens one more time.
That is very true. All right, anything else you would like to plug or promote?
No, just follow NoDQ_DOTCLM on Instagram. I have a graphic design business, so I have a lot of fun doing some graphics for that. The more followers, the more eyes we get on your channel, the more everybody wins. So much love to NoDQ Universe.
Yes, and thank you so much for everything with that Instagram account. I love that countdown you did for the trivia match, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it was fun. I was pulling from my boy Meacham, and God, I was hoping Greg Cherry would eat his words, but someone will do it one day.
I hope so. I feel like nobody's going to be able to do it, but the word is out there. Greg is looking for new challengers. So if anybody out there wants to step up, email me nodqmisc@gmail.com, and we'll see if we can get something set up.
That's right. I could never beat him in a trivia challenge, but hey, if he wants a smack talk challenge, the Boston Bruiser will come out, baby.
All right, fair enough. Well, thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it.
All right, peace out.
All right, have a great night. Take care. All right, that was Boston Punk calling in. Again, to Calvin Bowman and anybody else trying to call in, if it doesn't work the first time, just keep trying, and we'll try to get you in here. I'll try to get you in here as soon as possible. I will try to take as many calls as I can tonight, so just bear with me. CJ with a $10 super chat. I know in the whole picture it is a small thing, but I am happy that WWE has finally gotten good male ring announcers Who is your favorite WWE ring announcer of all time? My favorite is Justin Roberts. Well, I really do like Justin Roberts, and I definitely think that AEW made a great pickup with Justin Roberts. To me, he's the best of the modern era, definitely within the last 15, 20 years. But all-time favorite, I have to go with the Fink, Howard Finkel. Howard Finkel, as far as I'm concerned, is the all-time greatest ring announcer. But Justin Roberts is right up there. Tony Chimmel did a really good job, too. Greg Hamilton's doing well as well. So WWE does have some good announcers. They're really solid, but I have to go with my boy, the Fink, as the all-time greatest for sure. And I have a $4 super chat here from Alex. He says, been watching for 4 years. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you for that, Alex. And you did not leave a question, but feel free, guys, to send me a super chat question, and I will be happy to answer your question as long as it's within reason and it's not something completely outrageous. All right, so we have Cindy calling in. Let's answer this. How's it going, Cindy?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Just finished filing my taxes already, so got it out of the way.
All right, well, you're a
How
little
are you?
close to the deadline. I'm doing very well. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, pretty good overall. How about you?
Just hanging in there, doing this. It's been a really crazy week. I mean, this might be the overall busiest week of wrestling news that I've been covering in a very long time. It has been just nonstop pretty much. Oh, by the way, real quick to James Markin. He's trying to call right now. James, I will get you on here shortly, hopefully. So just keep trying if it doesn't go through. But anyways, Cindy, any topics you would like to discuss?
Yeah, I just want to talk about like the whole superstar shakeups. I know that AJ Styles is going to be out for a while for a hip surgery. So if he is due to return, is AJ Styles going to Raw? Because I could definitely see that happening. And then for Roman, just go to SmackDown. What are your thoughts?
I would not be surprised to see AJ go to Raw. I think it's going to be either AJ or Daniel Bryan. I suppose it could be both of them. And by the way, according to AJ, it was just a hip sprain. So I don't think that he's actually having surgery. I think he's just going to rest up for maybe a week or two and then he'll be back in action. But yeah, I strongly suspect AJ is going to go to Raw since he hasn't really been on Raw since the brand extension started up again. I think he's pretty much been on SmackDown since 2016. I definitely see him as one of the bigger SmackDown names going to Raw. And Roman Reigns, I've been predicting that for a while, but I'll believe it when I see it. You know, it would make sense for WWE going on Fox to have a major name like Roman Reigns carrying the brand. But they may just be lazy about it and have Roman Reigns representing Raw show up on SmackDown anyways, you know, just knowing how WWE operates and how they really don't take the brand extension very seriously.
I definitely agree as well. And plus, the only thing that kind of boggles my mind is that now that Becky has both Raw and SmackDown women's title and the Iconics have the WWE women's tag team titles, do you think that they're going to be considered as a free agent once the shakeup happens?
That's a good question. I would hope that the titles get merged with the Universal and WWE title as far as the women's tag team titles. I feel like it's just going to be where they're non-exclusive. They'll be able to appear on both brands, which is how I feel it should be done with all the titles. Anyone who's a champion, they can compete on both shows. And that's the extra perk to being the champion. You get to be on both shows, which means theoretically in storyline, you get to make more money if you're the champion because you're on both shows. So that's why I really push for that concept of having the titles merged and each champion just be non-exclusive and they can be on both shows. It's an extra thing to fight for, not just the championship, but the perks that come along with it. And real quick here, David McGinnis with a $2 super chat. Does AEW have any championships yet? I'm not sure what they have going on as far as championships go. I know they announced a bunch of matches. I know the Young Bucks have the AAA titles. But have you heard anything? Because I haven't been keeping up like with every single tweet from AEW.
Well, Cody did release the episode of Road to Double or Nothing this couple weeks ago, and they're in the process of creating the AEW championship title, but
Okay.
still in a works.
All right, so maybe they will wait until I could see them possibly waiting until the All In 2 event, or even when they get their television deal, introducing all the titles. So they may hold off on that for a little bit longer. But anyways, Cindy, anything you would like to plug or promote?
Alrighty, so you guys follow me, nodq.com/Cindy. That's going to take you directly to my Twitter page. Also, make sure to follow my Instagram page at simply_C_OK, where I posted some cool photo arts of landscape and wrestling. And make sure to check out on the highlight on my Instagram profile where I go on to past independent wrestling shows and WWE shows as well. And make sure to follow everybody on newdq.com. Make sure to follow the NX team, Stefan, Jerry, Noah, Chris Mace, Colin, Owen, and James. Also, everybody else at newdq.com. Aaron, Caitlin, Jeff, Greg, Hefe Virtue, Kyle, TJS, Jeff, aka Big G, medium-sized cast.
There's a lot.
Gold Fusion. Oh, Erin with an E, by the way. That's what I call her, and everybody else is calling her on my inner circle. But yeah, and I guess that's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Cindy. I really do appreciate it. Have a great rest of your evening.
You too. Bye,
right.
y'all. Cheers.
All right. Take care. All right. That was Cindy. Make sure you guys follow her, nodq.com/Cindy. Brian with a $2 super chat. He says, what do you think of Alexa pinning Bayley on Raw? And let me answer this next call here. Hello, who is this? Who am I speaking with?
This is Mike Nixon. How you doing, Aaron Rift?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Thank you for calling in. Real quick before I get your comment or question, Brian said, what do you think of Alexa pinning Bayley on Raw? A lot of people have been speculating about that maybe that was punishment for how Bayley and Sasha allegedly reacted to losing the tag team titles. I mean, it was pretty decisive. Alexa made short work of Bayley, and that was that. What were your thoughts on that when Alexa beat Bayley like that on Raw?
I definitely agree with what you're saying, that it was probably punishment for the way that they acted at WrestleMania. But I mean, completely honest, I was completely surprised that even that's how the outcome went. The Iconics winning. I didn't expect it at all, and I'm sure probably nobody expected it at all.
I know, I think pretty much the majority of the No DQ panel predicted Sasha and Bayley to retain. I think maybe one or two people predicted Natalya and Beth Phoenix to win it. And real quick here, Alex with a $2 super chat says, who do you think will be NXT's next big signing? Well, they just signed Kushida. I'm not sure who else is on the horizon, but I'm sure WWE will continue to scout out talent. I'm trying to think who's not under contract to AEW that WWE could potentially sign. That I'm not so sure about. But you guys in the chat room, if you think there's anybody out there that's not with AEW right now that could end up going to WWE, leave a comment with that name and we'll see what people come up with. But anyways, what was your comment or question that you wanted to share?
My question is, do you see during the Superstar Shakeup, any SmackDown tag teams that could go to Raw to upbuild the tag team brand over on Raw, where they don't completely sour down the SmackDown tag team brand?
Well, I think the Usos are going to Raw. Otherwise, I have no idea why the Hardys won the titles on SmackDown. That was just completely random. So I assume Usos are going over to Raw. And maybe we'll see the Bar go over to Raw. I could see that as a possibility. They seem to be going back and forth, though. So maybe not necessarily the Bar, but...
What about Nakamura and Rusev?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I could see that as a possibility. I don't think... Has Nakamura been on Raw? I don't think he has he?
Nakamura hasn't been on Raw. When he debuted, he strictly debuted on SmackDown.
That's a good one.
What about... I don't even remember Rusev being a part of Raw. Oh well, back in the day, I guess back in the day before they did the brand split, he was. But ever since when they went back to the brand split, I don't remember him being on Raw.
Yeah, he was on Raw, but it was a couple years ago. I don't remember the last time he was on Raw. He has been on SmackDown for a while now. People in the chat room are suggesting maybe James Storm. Ham Connell brought up James Storm as a possibility. I'm seeing a few other names here. Yeah, I mean, I would not rule out James Storm. I mean, another guy that's been rumored is Eli Drake, and he just left Impact Wrestling. Oh, and Brian literally just sent in the $2 super chat right after I said that. He said, what about Eli Drake? Yeah, I could see him as a possibility. I mean, the guy's a really good talker. But then again, look at EC3 and where EC3 is going at this point. So I don't even know if Eli Drake would be utilized, quite frankly.
Now, didn't WWE just recently bring in Abyss too, or was that just a rumor?
Abyss is working in WWE, but behind the scenes as a producer. He's not actually...
I figured that's what... I remember hearing something about it, but I figured, like, well, he's kind of old, so I figured he'd be doing something behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's working behind the scenes, as I believe Sanjay Dutt is as well. Yeah, the best time for Abyss would have been, like, 2004, 2005. And I believe there was this big rumor at the time that he was going to head up there to WWE, but it never panned out. So, yeah, that was that. Anyways, anything you would like to plug or promote?
I don't got anything to plug and promote, but I just got like one more like quick question.
Sure thing.
About going back to the tag teams. Do you think that they could possibly send the New Day over to Raw?
That would be interesting if all three members went to Raw, or what about if like just Xavier and Big E went to Raw and Kofi was on his own?
That's what I was thinking. Like just like Big E and Xavier.
That would be really interesting if they did that. I would definitely be surprised. But Cindy says, nope, New Day stays on SmackDown, so she's not buying it.
Yeah, because, I mean, in a way, it kind of wouldn't make sense to just send Big E and Xavier over there and then just leave Kofi over on SmackDown by himself. I mean, he's done it before, but I feel like even though as bland as the New Day's been, all of them just work together well as a team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's why I think it's more likely that they'll stay together just because WWE has the marketability with New Day as a group, and I don't see them messing with that, but it would be quite the surprise if it did happen. Anyways, Mike, I got more people trying to call in, so thank you so much for your call.
It's been a pleasure to finally get to talk to you in person. I've been a big supporter for a long time now.
Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. You have a great night, my friend.
You too, my brother.
All right, take care. All right, let's get this call from Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. How's it going?
Aaron, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for your patience. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I just got home from like 2:30 a.m. last night from driving Uber for like 8 hours.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I drove all over the Bay Area. It was crazy.
Oh, the Bay Area. Wow. That's even more crazy.
Yeah. I drove like from Napa to San Francisco to Sunnyvale, and then back to San Francisco, and then up to Lake County. It's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what. I am not a fan of driving in San Francisco, especially when you're going up the hills and down the hills.
Oh, yeah. Especially at night when it rains.
Yeah, that would not be fun for me. So, yeah, hats off to you, though, if you can make it work.
Thank you. Mike, I was really thinking a lot about, I really hope that, because, Impact, TNA did not really wasn't the competition at the level they wanted to be against WWE. So
Right.
With All Elite Wrestling, I really do hope they're a legitimate threat to WWE, because I think the thing is, we don't want to stop watching WWE, is that they can do, we know they're capable of doing better creatively. So I think what we want AEW to do is be so great, and then when WWE sees how much of a threat they are, they start being more creative again. And because competition is healthy, is best for business, as Triple H would say.
Right. Yeah, I'm hoping AEW succeeds. You know, it's good for my business for sure. The better AEW does, the more people that are tuning in, the more people that are checking out wrestling sites, looking for information and watching reviews and whatnot. So yeah, competition is great for everybody, including myself and NoDQ.com. So yeah, I'm definitely rooting for them. On one hand, I feel burned out by the oversaturation of wrestling, but at the same time, I really want to see like a legitimate number two be able to compete with WWE in the marketplace. But it's going to be tough because WWE is just such a strong brand and they dominate so much of the marketplace. But you know, so far so good for AEW. But like I said, they have to establish themselves on TV and be able to have that consistency. They're untested. They've done, you know, All In. They're doing this next show, and I'm sure this next show is going to be great. But they have to be able to stay consistent, and only time will tell if they can, as a business, operate on a consistent level and stay consistent with the quality of their shows. But anyways, that's my thought process on AEW at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty much, I'm pretty much in line with you there. I'm pretty much on the same page when it comes to that. It's going to be tough. You know, I mean, even Vince himself, you know, I mean, he wants the XFL to be legitimate competition to the NFL. So it's kind of interesting irony in a sense that he's getting an up and coming rising competition with his promotion, and he's trying to recreate his own competition for the NFL. So
pretty much,
we'll be getting some very interesting sport events coming up in the next year.
Oh yeah, we got the XFL too. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Deliberately, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I try not to think about the XFL. Although there's like a part of me that thinks that it's going to be successful this time. I don't know.
Well,
I feel like Vince is somehow going to make it work this time.
Successful. I mean, because Vince is taking his time this time. He was kind of rushing.
Yeah.
The last time he did it, so I think he's taking his time. So I think it will be success. I don't know how successful it will be, but I think it'll be successful.
Yeah, I have a feeling this time he's going to make it work, and he's going to have more determination than ever. But anyways, thank you so much for your call. Anything you would like to promote or plug?
I mean, you guys can either follow me on Twitter, or if you want to follow me on my Facebook, you can add me as Nathan Rosa.
Okay, well, I really appreciate the call. Thank you, and have a great night.
You too. Have a good weekend, Darren.
All right, take care. You as well. Hello, Virtue.
Hey, Aaron Riff.
Hey, how's it going? Long time no talk.
I know. Hey, am I echoing or do I sound okay?
You sound about as okay as you're going to sound.
All right. What's up, man? So this is No DQ Live. Make sure you tell everybody to watch No DQ review number 53, which is up now.
Everybody watch No DQ review number 53, which is up now.
It's a good discussion. And Enzo Amore is back. What topics are we talking about? Anything particular?
Right now, anything you want to bring up?
Dude, Enzo Amore, man, I am so excited to see him and Cass back in the game. They deserve to make money in this business because they are entertaining. I know they're not the best wrestlers in the world, but I kind of miss performers that don't need to go in the ring and have 5-star matches, but yet can still entertain. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do as the free agents going forward.
Absolutely. I think that it's going to be very interesting to see how things play out with those guys. And like I told you, I feel like this is the first time I'm even remotely interested in anything that Ring of Honor is doing. But what are they calling themselves? The free agents now? So they're acting
with
like
Z at the end, and he's Kaz XL and then Enzo. Dude, I just like how they can play within the parameters of doing everything legally against WWE, and I just hope they make some money doing it. And if they're getting heat, how many wrestlers actually get genuine heat these days? Not many. And they were getting booed out of MSG. I loved it.
Yeah, it was like something, it feels like a modern day version of the NWO.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a good analogy, but yeah, I mean, that'll never be duplicated. But just the fact that we can think about that with these two guys. I can't wait to see what they do next. I don't know who involved at Ring of Honor is responsible for this. I keep hearing Bubba Ray Dudley was an advocate to let this happen because he's got a little bit of stroke over there.
Right.
So good for him. He's an old school guy. He understands sports entertainment.
Yeah, and Enzo and Cass, did you see that interview from today that was posted
Yes.
about? Yeah, I mean they made it clear they want to entertain people. They're not there to have great wrestling matches. They just want to entertain people and make an impact in the business. So that's a great attitude. I love it.
I'm excited about that, man. It's something different than WWE. That's actually, me, I'm a WWE guy because that's what most people talk about.
Right.
I cannot believe I'm excited about something not WWE right now.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, Virtue, go ahead with your plugs. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
Follow me on Twitter at @NoDQ_Virtue. I was in a big Twitter debate a few minutes ago about Chris Benoit. It's decades. It's a decade past, and I still miss the guy. And it sucks that he took a lot of headshots in wrestling. He took steroids. We don't know exactly what happened with all that, but dude, I miss him, man. And people calling me out for thinking I know, I'm a medical guy and I know steroids and CT. I don't. Right? I Google it just like everybody else does.
Right.
But the moral of the story is just because tragedy happens, you can still remember the good things. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah, and I always look at it from the perspective of he had the brain of an 80-year-old Alzheimer's patient. He was not right in the head. All those concussions and the dives off the top rope with the headbutts, his brain was messed up. I mean, he was chemically imbalanced. It doesn't justify what he did.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I just feel bad. He was another victim of the business, when people were taking all these unprotected chair shots and, people just didn't know all the dangers like they do now. So, now.
And we knew a lot of these wrestlers took steroids, and we don't know what those steroids did. But if anything, Aaron, they made people comfortable to do things they probably shouldn't because it made them feel unstoppable. And it sucks, man. Drugs suck. Don't do drugs.
Right.
That's it. I'll go now.
It is what it is. All right. Thank you, Virtue, for calling in. Everybody follow him at nodq.com/virtue.
See ya.
All right. Take care, my friend.
Later.
All right. Now we have Josh, a.k.a. Sun Gosh. I can't pronounce it. I still can't pronounce it.
You're coming close.
I will get it one of these days.
Here.
Say it 5 times fast.
Sun Goshuaku, Sun Goshuaku, Sun Goshuaku, Sun Goshuaku, Sun Goshuaku.
Sun Goshuaku?
Boom, that is the best time you ever said it, Aaron.
All right, there you go. If you just say it 1,000,000 times, I'll eventually get it right. Anyways, how's it going, my friend?
Good. Just got back from the gym on my way home and saw that you were live streaming. So I'm like, oh, I'll go ahead and try to get on here. I had a couple things I wanted to ask. Since we're at the end of this decade, what do you think was the best and worst WrestleMania from 26 to 35?
WrestleMania 30, easily, would be the number one for me, followed by 31. And actually, I may go with this year's WrestleMania as third from the past decade. What about you?
I agree. 30, 31. When I recorded a review earlier this week, I felt 30, 31, and 35. Those are the top three. I said I put 35 right up there with 30 and 31. Having a hard time, though, figuring out what I think would be my least favorite, though, because there were some WrestleManias that seemed like they were just like a one-match show, and that was about it.
Oh, well, I would say probably 27 is the worst just because the main event was such a letdown.
Yeah, definitely.
With
And
The Rock.
I know Triple H and Taker's match were the biggest standout from that one.
Yeah, I agree on that. And I'm trying to think what else happened at the other WrestleManias. 32 was all right. A couple of them were all right. But yeah, 27 I would say was probably the weakest of all of them. 29 I didn't think was too good other than CM Punk versus Undertaker. I was never really a big fan of Rock and Cena a second time. Like, they built it up as once in a lifetime. And when they did the second one, to me it was just so painfully obvious that Cena was going to get his win back. So I was kind of like, eh.
I agree, though. I think one thing that I am a fan of that I don't think a lot of people are fans of is the Triple H and Brock Lesnar. I actually liked their second match at WrestleMania 29, and I felt that if you would have taken that match and give it the finish of their SummerSlam 2012 match, I thought it would have been the perfect Triple H Brock match.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I do remember I felt like it was better than SummerSlam, but I feel like the crowd just wasn't into that match for whatever reason. They were pretty dead for most of that show, other than CM Punk and Undertaker. Like people were trying to say, oh, there were audio issues or whatever. But if you listen to the crowd for Punk and Undertaker, they got hot for that match. So it wasn't an audio issue. It was just that was the match that people cared about seeing more than anything else.
They were probably worn out after that. And the next thing I wanted to say was this shakeup coming up. I feel like it's going to definitely be a real interesting look at where the WWE, I guess more like how much the WWE prioritizes SmackDown going into fall. Like, are they going to really throw a lot of their big names on SmackDown? And it'll be like, okay, we know they're really taking SmackDown serious heading into Fox. That's kind of what I'm looking at with this shakeup.
Yeah, well, I hope it's something significant, and after the shakeup is over, they'll be separate. I mean, to me, that's really important. But yeah, I would think with Fox and the WWE SmackDown deal looming, that SmackDown will get a good change here, and they'll get a couple big names like Roman Reigns, and we'll really see like a good shakeup where we get some fresh feuds and some people getting fresh starts on another brand. It seems like most of the time Raw always gets the best deal, but maybe this year it'll be different with Fox. But again, I'll believe it when I see it, you know?
Yeah, definitely for sure. I'm sure going to miss the old having the general managers come out on the podiums and pick the wrestlers. I'm not a fan of the whole format of they just come out of nowhere and it's like, they get build up some suspense or something.
Oh, I agree with that completely. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the new format that they've been doing the last year or two. But anyways, thank you so much for calling in. Anything you would like to plug or promote?
Sure, yeah. I recorded a WrestleMania review earlier this week with Steve O from Too Sweet Cosplay, and our friend the Man Triple One. He was there live and attended, so that will be dropping on my YouTube channel within this weekend. So we go over everything WrestleMania. So check it out. It'll be in podcast style. You guys can follow me, Son Goshuku, spelled SONGOSHUAKU, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all the social media platforms. Aaron, been a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, take care, my friend. Have a great night.
You too.
All right, bye. All right, we got TK calling in. TK, how's it going?
Hey, Aaron, you can hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. The weather's been up and down around here, but that's how New England is. It's summer one day and it's winter the next.
Sounds like Michigan as well from the times I've been out there.
So I just wanted to follow earlier to kind of jump on the 205 bus a little bit. And
Sure thing.
when Raw was in Providence, not last year, but the year before, 205 was the next day, but it was way across the state. So I don't know how they expected people to make it because,
Right.
a big drive for, and you West Coast people only, drive to work, 1 hour each way. But to me, the other side of the state is almost an hour away. So if they wanted 205 to be better and be better promoted, why not have it at the same location just after Raw or SmackDown, or make it something, I mean, they did bring out some of the 205 guys, and they did a dark match with them, which was great. But, I really wanted to see the whole shebang.
Well, that's a very valid point. I mean, there's definitely things WWE could do to make the 205 Live brand more important, but they're just not doing it. It's just they're doing the show on whatever. Is it still on Tuesday nights? I mean, after SmackDown, I'm not even sure at this point since I haven't really been paying attention. When does it air now?
I don't know. I only watch the Raw and SmackDown because I watch it at a friend's house. I don't own my own TV, so I catch the clips on YouTube. to be honest.
Right. Well, so here's the thing. Okay, so Cindy says it's on after SmackDown Live on Tuesday. And by the way, I tried watching the Buddy Murphy rematch with Tony Nese for the title, and they only showed highlights. They didn't even show the finish of the match. So I'm like, like I now I have even less interest in watching because they don't even give me like the actual finish of the match. I'm not tuning into your network to watch the whole damn match. I just want to see like the highlights and I want to see the finish. So yeah, they didn't even give me that. So yeah, that's a bit annoying.
That the women's titles being dropped quite so soon, and
Right.
out of everyone, it has to go to the Iconics. I'm
Yeah.
not hating on them, but they're kind of a comedy thing, and they
Yeah.
just make a lot of noise. And I've spoken to actual other Australians, and they say they can't even stand their accents. So
Right. It's like, are they getting the good heat or are they getting the go away heat where nobody wants to see them? They just want to turn off their television.
I don't want any heat to come from them. They shouldn't have even been in the match at all.
Oh, there you go. I mean, I like the act, but yeah, I mean, they have been pretty much portrayed as a comedy act as of late. And I think they even lost to Sasha and Bailey, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even remember, but they haven't exactly been built up really well the last couple months. So for them to all of a sudden win the titles, you know, it almost feels like Jinder Mahal just all of a sudden he goes from like a lower card guy and then getting this main event push out of nowhere. It kind of felt like the same thing.
Oh God, I hope they don't hold it as long as he did. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
that's all we need.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with them if they have a long reign or if the titles are just going to get hot potatoed like the other titles. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find out after the shakeup.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Anything you would like to plug or promote? And guys, yes, you can call in. I'm going to try to get everybody, so I appreciate you guys bearing with me here. TK, anything you would like to promote?
Come to New England, damn it. Not just to Toronto, that's halfway. Get halfway there. Keep on coming on down, and I'll meet you at Boston, New York, something around that area, but I can't make it to Toronto.
Well, maybe New York. Maybe we can make that work. Wow, I'm getting spammed in the chat big time here. We got like tons of people spamming. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it. You have a great rest of your evening.
Oh, you too, Aaron.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Okay. So Calvin and to everyone else trying to call in. All right. Wait a minute. Who do we got here? All right. Noah Foster's calling in. The Simple Man. Let's answer this. No, you better turn off the audio. All right, there we go. How's it going?
Hello, No DQ Galaxy and Aaron Rift. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's an honor to have the Simple Man here with us on No DQ&A Live.
A pleasure, sir.
So what's on your mind, my friend?
Oh, not much. I just figured I'd come in because I've been hearing people talk about 205 this, Iconics this, blah, blah, blah. Yes, Caitlin, I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster. You happy?
She just popped, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure she did. Hello, Cindy. Virtue, you know what? You're all right.
Wow. A compliment
So anyway,
to Virtue.
Yeah, like I said, 205 Live, it matters to me. I understand where you're coming from. I did look at the recent YouTube clip. The YouTube clips don't freaking do 205 Live justice. Ironically, though, they did more justice to the match before WrestleMania between Tony Nese and Cedric, but I digress.
Yeah, they did butcher. Like, I heard really rave reviews for that match. I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch the YouTube clip. And yeah, they just cut out a lot of it, and then they didn't even show the finish of the match. So it was really awkward to me. Like, if I'm like just a casual person watching that video, that's not going to really impress me. I'm not going to be enticed to watch more 205 Live. So I don't know what they were thinking with that clip. Like, why even bother if they're not going to put like at least a good chunk of the match and the finish? Glasses off.
Yes, glasses off, and yes, they are off. But
I
the
heard
problem
it.
is Vince just doesn't respect the cruiserweights. Thus, the casuals don't know how to even interpret these guys. They're
Right.
like people that you think are no names or nobodies. Aren't they? Address indie folks. They're not sports entertainers. Well, damn it. WWE is more about sports entertainment, okay? There's actual wrestling in it.
Right, exactly. Oh, and David McGinnis just left the $2 super chat. He says, Dinosaur Puppet to become general manager. So what did you think about that promo? Because I haven't really talked about it. I'm not sure we talked about it on the No DQ review. What did you think of that promo, which everyone's thinking is for Bray Wyatt? Did it impress you, or were you like, what the hell is this?
Well, if I were to compare this with Mojo Rawley in the mirror, I like it better than Mojo Rawley in the mirror.
Well, there you go.
I mean, who else could it freaking be? It's a buzzard with a freaking bandana, and you hear Bray Wyatt's laugh in the background. If it isn't Bray Wyatt, I'll shave my head bald.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go. You guys just heard it from Noah Foster.
And I'm a man of my word, No DQ Galaxy.
Yeah, see, in the past, I feel like if I said something like that, WWE would just screw with me, and they would have it be somebody else just so I would have to shave my head bald, Zack Ryder.
I've already been screwed with my whole life with the fact that I look at wrestling and I support the redhead stepchild WWE. But hey, I'm No DQ Predictions champ, so I got more merit.
Oh, don't rub it in here. Yeah, I know.
I'm not.
You're the champ for now.
Yeah.
It's all about who wins for the entire year, but I think I'm pretty far behind right now. I gotta get back on track.
Well, maybe on the next live No DQ, like prior to Money in the Bank, because I'm sure you'll do this again, because you're letting the people express their opinions, and you're opening the forum to all those that have supported you over the years. I'm sure I can give you all like a live score update. Yes, Caitlin, you're still at the top.
She is on top.
I'm actually in second place.
You are in second place, so good for you. I mean, you guys are battling it out. I think I'm not last at this point. I think
Jerry Slaughter's still last. That's why I gave him a mid participation award, custom made.
Oh, participation award. Poor General. I feel bad for him. Anyways,
at least he tries.
Thank you so much for calling in, Noah.
I hope you have a wonderful Friday night. As far as my plugs, support No DQ and 205 Live Matters.
All right. Well, there you have it from the Simple Man. Thank you so much for calling in. Have a great night, my friend.
You all do the same. Have a good night, folks.
All right. Take care, Noah. All right, guys. So wait a minute here. I'm going to close Skype for just a few minutes here maybe, because I do want to get to a few of these other questions from twitter.com/Aaron Riff. So for those of you that want to call in, please bear with me here for a few more minutes. I will reopen Skype and take the calls. I do want to get to some more of these questions real quick. Callie Uncensored sent in this question. Do you think John Cena's Dr. of Thugonomics persona was a one-off return, or do you see a second run for the gimmick? It is a fresh change and definitely over with the crowd, and he's only part-time and not carrying the show anymore. Please answer in video. I don't think he's going to be doing it more often. I do feel that it was a one-off, but that also depends on WWE. John Cena has made it clear in interviews that he is a company man. He will do what they ask of him. If Vince decides he wants the Dr. of Thugonomics on a regular basis, then John Cena will be the Dr. of Thugonomics. But my feeling was it was just a one-off thing to do something special for WrestleMania. And that's that. I don't think he's going to be the Doctor on a regular basis. And I also have this question here from another Chris. We had a Chris earlier. This Chris is also from Michigan. So there you go. Shout out to Chris from Michigan. Probably not too far from where Caitlin is. Hey, Mr. Rift. Now with WrestleMania 35 over and having a bunch of new champions, how do you see the Superstar shakeup going, and which wrestlers do you want to see switch brands this year? I would like to see Roman Reigns go to SmackDown, as I've mentioned, just to change things up. I do want to see some people that have been on one brand for a long time change it up. I want to see guys or gals that haven't been utilized much be switched. Maybe we see Sasha and Bayley get a fresh start over on SmackDown. That is, of course, if Sasha's going to stick it out or not. Maybe see Charlotte go to Raw to change things up. As we mentioned earlier, AJ Styles going to Raw. I could definitely see that happening. Maybe even Daniel Bryan going to Raw I could see as a possibility. I definitely want to see some different feuds, different storylines, and some people on a different brand. And then keep these people. The important thing is to keep these people separate so they're not appearing on both shows unless it's the champions, of course. But just have a change of environment and just shake things up. You know, it's the shake up. So actually shake things up. I'd like to see, I know I said this last year, I'd like to see Balor on SmackDown. He is the Intercontinental Champion now, but perhaps they'll change the titles around where Samoa Joe will bring the U.S. title to Raw, and then Finn Balor will bring the IC title to SmackDown. Wouldn't shock me if that happened, and I would be fine with that. If Strowman stays on Raw, you can have Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman as a new feud. Get a couple good heels on SmackDown to feud with Kofi Kingston. That would be good. So that's pretty much my thought process at this point. And I do have this question here from Andy. Andrew McManus, 24. Do you think that the tag team that Paige will bring to SmackDown is just going to be Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville? I really hope not. It would not shock me, though, if that ended up being the case. I feel like it's going to be the Sky Pirates. I feel like it's going to be Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. But yeah, that sounds like something WWE would do, where they would hype up something and then it would just be a disappointment and it would just be Absolution reuniting. To me, that would be really lame. By the way, I have reopened Skype if you guys would like to call in, whoever hasn't yet. Dylan with a $5 super chat says, damn, I finally catch Aaron live and I'm at the gym. Maybe I can call in next time. All right, let me answer this call. 1 second, Harley. Dylan says, maybe I can call in next time. Anyways, keep up the good work, Aaron. No DQ forever. Anyways, how's it going, Harley?
Yeah, hey Aaron. Just calling in here from the Philippines.
Oh, wow.
It's actually Saturday here, so it's good to see you early in the morning, Saturday morning here.
Well, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. So what's on your mind?
Yeah, you were talking about the bringing in the Sky Pirates to the main roster a while ago. So I was just wondering if there is a chance that they might win the tag team titles from the Iconics.
I wouldn't mind that, quite frankly. Like, see, I feel like you gotta have some consistent champions where they're not just hot potatoing the titles back and forth. So it's like part of me wants to see the Iconics have a lengthy reign, but at the same time, they really shouldn't be the champions in the first place at this point. So yeah, maybe the Sky Pirates come in, win the titles, and then they have a lengthy reign and go through all the tag teams one at a time. Because, yeah, what's going to happen with the Iconics? I mean, the problem is that the titles have not been established yet. They were just debuted at Elimination Chamber, and Iconics are not booked as dominant competitors. They're basically putting over other tag teams. So, yeah, it really just doesn't make sense for them being champions right now. So, yeah, I guess I would say that's a good idea. Just have Sky Pirates come in, win the titles, and then push the Sky Pirates as a dominant tag team. That's what I would do at this point.
Yeah, I actually thought of the same thing. But yeah, I've been watching NXT for the past few years. I've been actually watching NXT more than the main roster. I just rather watch Blue DQ live, especially since you're more entertaining than what I've been seeing at the main roster right now.
Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, but I actually see Io Shirai and Kairi Sane being more of singles competitors. But yeah, at the same time, right now, what happened with Asuka, I think it's better for the Sky Pirates to debut to the main roster as a tag team. The thing about this is what I didn't like is, why is Paige the one who's gonna bring them up? It was kind of confusing.
Okay, so I think the idea is that, first of all, Paige needs something to do, and WWE's trying to figure out something for her. And since there's no more general manager or whatever, I think the idea is that Paige can transition into a manager role and have her lead a tag team to the tag team titles, which I'm fine with. I mean, and I guess it does make sense because Paige came from NXT and she's bringing in a new team from NXT. So I don't really have a big problem with it. I think the idea is just to get her on TV and transition her into a manager role so she has something to do. since she's no longer the general manager.
Yeah, I think that's fair, a fair answer. Okay, so yeah, that's it on my part. Yeah, for the people watching right now, so support No DQ, support Aaron Riff, support all of the people who've been creating videos for this website and this YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
All right, take care. All right, thank you for that, Harley. I really do appreciate that call and all the kind words. Jason Bush with a question here. He says, I know you have been asked this question dozens of times now, but we have seen Dean Ambrose's final send-off. Do you think that it is a work or is it legit? I feel like it's legit, even though it's completely different from what we've seen before as far as how WWE handles departures. Let me get Calvin Bowman on here. He's been trying to call in. Calvin, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Okay, your volume is really low. Yeah, I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's extremely low. You might want to check your volume on. Oh, wait a second. That actually might have been my fault, so I apologize. Go ahead and say something. You there?
Yes,
Better. It was my fault. I apologize for that.
I have a question.
Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you being patient with me. So how's it going, my friend?
I have a question.
Go for it.
What was your favorite attitude era?
My favorite Attitude Era Raw?
Yes.
Ooh, that is a tough one. Okay, I will name a couple that come off to the top of my head. I really like the Raw after the 98 Royal Rumble, where Mike Tyson came out and Steve Austin confronted him. And then you had Shawn Michaels coming out as The Undertaker and trolling everybody, and Triple H with the giant wiener, the barbecue they had. And then the Raw the night after WrestleMania 14, when Austin stunned Vince and then went to jail. And then X-Pac came back and did his big return promo, ripping into WCW and Eric Bischoff. And I do like that Raw 99 that was unopposed when there was no Nitro competition, when Shawn Michaels made a bunch of matches. It was like mid-May 99. That one was really fun. And then the one in 2000 when it was the 10-man tag team match. I think it was DX and the Radicals against The Rock, Cactus Jack, and Too Cool. That was the main event. That one was a great Raw. So those, I think, would be the favorite off the top of my head. Do you have any favorites that I did not mention?
One from 1997 and one from 1998.
Well, the 97 ones there were so many great Raws there too. Like the one where Steve Austin beat up Bret Hart in the ambulance. That was a great Raw. That was one of my favorites from that early Attitude Era period. If we're talking like pre-Survivor Series. Anyways, Calvin, do you have any other comments or anything you would like to plug or promote?
My Facebook, facebook.com/CalvinBlumman1.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Love you, Aaron.
Have a great night, my friend. Take care.
You too.
All right. Bye. All right. That was Calvin calling in. Let me get back to this comment about Dean Ambrose from Jason Bush. Yeah, I think it's legit at this point. I think WWE's been trying to keep him around, and that's why they're not burying the guy on television. Like, you know, he did lose a bunch of matches, but then they did the Shield reunion, and yeah, it's completely unprecedented because WWE hasn't ever announced somebody leaving like this before. So it's just something we haven't seen before, and I think that's what really threw off a lot of people. Like, why would WWE announce this in advance? Surely this has to be a work. But yeah, I don't think it's a work. All right, so I got this question here from Cody. Statkin Static Infamy 187. With the recent reports from insiders confirming AEW will start on TNT TBS the week SmackDown moves to Fox, doesn't it make WCW's death pointless, as Eazy-E had a deal to buy WCW in place, but Turner no longer wanted wrestling, so the deal fell through? Well, what happened in WCW was that Jamie Kellner, who was in charge at the time of the whole television network with Time Warner, he did not want wrestling on the network. And WCW was losing a ton of money. I think they lost, 60 to $80 million in 2000. And even in 2001, despite the fact that the product was starting to improve, like the brand was pretty much dead and they were just losing a ton of money. And Kellner was not a wrestling fan, and he just saw money bleeding, and he wanted to stop the bleeding. So that's what happened here. Fast forward, it's almost 20 years later, and All Elite Wrestling, they have some real potential as a brand. They have a cult following. They have this grassroots movement, and if people in Turner see potential dollar signs here that this brand can be successful, it's been long enough since WCW was around, and AEW can fill the void of there being an alternative. Then they'll be willing to take a chance with this. So yeah, I think that's the whole deal here, is that WCW was just so far gone as far as a brand goes, and they were just losing so much money. And you had a guy who just felt like, they needed to drop it as soon as possible, to the point where they would sell it to Vince McMahon for next to nothing. And then I do have this question here from Scott Briller. Question for the No DQ&A Friday. With Big E out with injury for at least 6 weeks, what do you think WWE will do with Xavier Woods? Will they give him a new partner or have him do single matches and maybe turn against Kofi for a quick feud until Big E returns and No DQ is the best? Well, thank you for that, Scott. I do appreciate it. I don't think WWE is going to mess around with New Day. I know we talked earlier about the possibility of New Day potentially breaking up or splitting in the Superstar Shakeup. And there's been the talk, well, maybe one of them will turn against Kofi. It could happen, but I just sense WWE's not going to break them up. I really don't think they're going to. The perfect opportunity would have been at WrestleMania. And not doing the tag team gauntlet. Like, if there was no tag team gauntlet and then Kofi and Xavier turned heel, they could have explained in storyline that they were working for Vince. They were in Vince's ear the entire time. And that's why Vince was so much against Kofi Kingston, because Kofi's buddies were behind his back telling Vince, this guy just doesn't have it. He's a B+ player. He's not motivated. So yeah, I think WWE missed the opportunity, but of course it's WWE. Anything's possible. Never say never. They may just turn somebody randomly just for the hell of it. Look what happened with Dean Ambrose, without much thought process or having a game plan as to what to do with the guy. As you guys know, I feel like New Day has been stale for a very long time, but I don't necessarily think anything's going to change with that. All right, got a $5 super chat here from Dylan. Thank you for that, Dylan. He says, hey, Aaron, which non-WWE wrestlers do you think AEW should sign? Well, again, I'm not really sure how many free agents are out there that I'm all that familiar with at this point. Eli Drake is, as far as Impact stars go, I feel like Eli Drake is at the top of the list. And even though he is the Impact champion, if they could get Morrison, I think Morrison would be a good fit for AEW. I mean, there's a lot of interesting matches you could do with Morrison with some of those AEW guys. Imagine John Morrison versus Kenny Omega. That would be really interesting. He would definitely have a lot of great matches with people in AEW. So Morrison, Eli Drake. Beyond that, I'm not really familiar with a lot of the talents. I would say Enzo and Cass, but I think AEW is trying to appeal to people as an alternative. And I don't think they're gonna bring in Enzo and Cass. I would be surprised if they do, but yeah, I'd like to see it. As far as I'm trying to think of other talents that we could possibly see go into All Elite Wrestling that are not with WWE right now. You mentioned wrestlers. I still think AEW should bring in Jim Johnston to compose music. I know he's not a wrestler, but he's a guy I definitely think AEW should sign. So thank you for that question, Dylan. I'll be on here for a few more minutes, so if anybody else would like to call in, now is the time. I'll try to take a few more calls here. I think I got through all of the Twitter questions. You can also hashtag NoDQ video if you would like to send in a question for future NoDQ lives. Like I said a couple weeks ago, the plan right now is to do this on a fairly regular basis. I'm thinking like every other week I'm going to do a NoDQ live stream, NoDQ&A live. Caitlin doesn't want to call in, but she wants to ask me which superstar did I think did best on Drop the Mic. The person that won, did Rusev and Lana win? I forgot which act won. Yeah, I think it was Rusev and Lana. So I go with the people that won. So yeah, Rusev and Lana. Although I'm not even sure if they won or not. I don't remember. Sorry, Caitlin. I'm very forgetful, as you know. All right, so it doesn't look like anybody else is calling in. So I will go ahead and close up Skype here. Thank you guys so much for calling in and sending in your questions. Thank you to everybody for sending the super chats. I really do appreciate it. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com. It's been a crazy week. Lots of news up on the site right now. Stuff going on with Sasha Banks. Lots of posts up there regarding that and other happenings in the world of WWE. So stay tuned for all that. I think Greg Cherry might be doing a stream this weekend. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Follow everybody from Team NoDQ. Check them out on Facebook and Twitter. And that's all I got. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you on Monday for NoDQ's live reactions. Remember, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. Right when Raw starts, I will be on YouTube doing my live reactions to the Superstar Shakeup. So,
WWE's version of ECW that was launched in 2006 sucked. It sucked from the very beginning.
Welcome, Noggers! Happy days are here again!
Boys,
how's it going, Steve?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, right. You?
Lots of small talk. That's what we do best.
That's sorry.
First off, a massive thank you to Calzo Houdini at Calzo for making our new website, oswreview.com. Did a brilliant job. Oh, it's incredible.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fucking sweet. You two pricks are doing movie reviews and game reviews and all sorts. Yeah, just getting it out there. I've played through the Metal Gear series and only looking for any excuse to just spooge about it. It's amazing. Read my reviews. Worth your while picking up. I won't, because And Jay, you've done horror movies?
Yes, including WWE's Oculus. Yeah, it actually only has one. It doesn't have any wrestlers in it, and it only has one wrestling reference in it.
It does have your one from Doctor Who in it, though. Very pretty.
Very much so. It's actually a good film. Recommend. Jay, get to see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just listen.
There's also an FAQ which answers questions like, who's the coolest of the three?
That'd be Mr. OOC, obviously. Obviously.
Yeah. OOC, you've been described as the funny one. Is that reputation justified?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh, you can